This has been an unprecedented year of protests in Moscow as the opposition condemned unfair elections and Vladimir Putin's return to the presidency. Leonid Razvozhaev was a young organizer from the left of the movement, and his fate is a striking example of the subsequent government clampdown. After the violence of the 6th of May protest and with the net closing in on him, Leonid Razvozhaev fled Russia for Ukraine. There he was discussing political asylum with this United Nations office in Kiev when he was abducted from the street and disappeared for 2 days. By the time he reappeared on a video link to a Moscow courtroom, he had signed a 10-page confession which he claims was extracted under torture. He said he was blindfolded and tied to a chair while investigators threatened the lives of his children. He said they had smuggled him back across the border into Russia illegally. His partner, Yulia Smirnova, the mother of his 2 children, told me she still hadn't been allowed to see him.
I thought things like this only happened in films, but it turns out they can happen in real life. I think his 10-page confession was dictated to him. If my family's lives were threatened, I would have written a 20-page confession, and in small handwriting.
Since he was brought to Moscow, Leonid Razvozhaev has been held here at Lefortovo prison, the same notorious jail where in the communist era the KGB kept its political prisoners. Leonid Razvozhaev remains behind bars, charged with organising mass riots, something he denies, and the government's treatment of him has alarmed human rights groups.
I believe that situation with Razvozhaev it's a sign of a new quality of political repressions actually, because they didn't dare to act this way earlier.
11 people remain in prison awaiting trial following the May the 6th demonstration. 1 year on since the protest movement began, no one is quite sure when the government clampdown it triggered will end. Daniel Sanford, BBC News, Moscow.